And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, live from Giangelo's in Boardman. It is the South Range Raiders show once again every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. This time we got a very special guest, someone who's usually pretty busy around this time, 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights, Mr. TJ Irons, the head volleyball coach of your South Range Raiders. Kind of nice, right? When we're doing these StreamYards, there's nobody, no applause, no anything like that. But you said it. Can they hear us on this? Yeah, they can hear everything you say, Coach. Routine, such a huge part of every sport, volleyball especially. To have a couple Tuesdays off in a row, it's kind of like having Friday nights off in football. What's it like? What do you do other than come and do stuff for us?
Well, it's strange. It is strange, and having practice tonight was a little bit different. But in volleyball, we do have a little bit more flexibility with our schedule. So there's times that we'll play on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We might play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But having 2 Tuesdays in a row off is definitely different for us.
Well, you and I talked about right before we went on the air, you would put your schedule up against literally everybody. And when you go and check the boxes, that's a pretty rough schedule in the last week alone.
Right.
I mean, let's take me through it. What did you have last week?
So last Tuesday, we played Girard.
Pretty doggone good
very
team.
Good team.
Yep.
And, we're there, and Bailey Walters gets her 1,000th assist that night, which was pretty cool for her.
Yeah.
Tough for us, but cool for her. And then we travel down south and go to East Liverpool.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Winningest coach in Ohio history.
Yep.
So we face that.
Pretty doggone good coach.
Yep. And then we come back the next night, Thursday, and play Lakeview, who's leading our league right now. So
incredible.
We like those games because they're competitive and they test us. But it also it tests your will a little bit because those are 3 of the toughest teams right there. We played them all back to back to back.
Oh, but it's a good thing you got a breather last night against Western Reserve, huh?
Then we go play one of the best Division IV teams in the area. Yeah. So but our girls came back ready to go today. Was the thing. We basically had 4 straight games that were against some of the best teams in the area, and you wonder how they'll come into practice today. But they came into practice today ready to go. They were focused, and we had a good practice.
And we've talked about this before. In high school, it is very fragile during the day. Luckily, you're in the building.
Yes.
So you kind of get to see what's happening and kind of know before you go to practice. But how temperamental can that situation be? I mean, I always say you're one bad breakup, you're one bad grade away from having to deal with the whole thing that most parents, most coaches at the next level don't either remember or realize that you've got to deal with on an everyday basis.
Sure. It's interesting. And, you don't want to make excuses because last week we didn't play as well as we should have. But I felt like every night we were playing the team we were playing, but we were also playing homecoming.
Yeah.
We had girls that were going to get nails done and hair done. And then we had, I don't know if you noticed or not, but of the, I guess 6 girls that were on homecoming court, 5 of them were on the volleyball team.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's pretty awesome though because it means we have girls that are well liked in our school that are nice girls, and so we're lucky to have that. But to say that it wasn't at least a little bit of a distraction would be lying.
That's an obstacle.
It's just different. It's just different. Yeah, but they all looked great. Everybody said they had fun at the dance too, so that's good.
That's all that matters,
yeah.
Right? But now you can turn the page, put everything behind you, and focus because you said you've got 2 weeks up until leading up to the playoffs. And that's where you make, for all intents and purposes, that's where you make your money, right? In the playoffs. That's where you essentially go make your legacy. So when you go and look at this, what conversation are you having with these young ladies and telling them? Because this is a relatively young team that you're trying to kind of navigate choppy waters.
Sure. I mean, being at South Range, the story that we always have is our baseball team that won the state. I mean, we can go back to that. Every coach here can go back to that and say, look, this team was below 500 going into the tournament. And then they went and they won the whole thing. So it's kind of cool for us to be able to go back to that and just the success of our other teams. We've had wrestlers that have done it.
Yeah.
Now we have our football team that have done it. So I think the fact that they can believe that somebody at South Range can actually make that run, it's a lot of fun.
It's interesting to see because I think, at least from where I sit, I think the girls have adopted a lot of that attitude that's kind of lingering in the South Range hallways with the athletics because, hey, like you said, the baseball team, well, if the football team did it, so can we, because we got the same kind of type of athletes and say, I mean, a lot of these have brothers that are on those teams from that situation. So like when you're looking at that, do you have to coach that, or is that something that just comes through the genetics and being part of this great family we call South Range?
Well, I think probably a little bit of both, but there's so much crossover at South Range. Yeah. It's pretty cool that, we have think at least 3 girls that have dads that are coaches on the football team. We got the Toys, the Crumbachers, the Fosters. And then we have 4 sets of sisters on the team. So, I mean, when you talk about a family atmosphere, it can't get much more family than what we have.
When you look at what you have, I mean, 5 seniors, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 seniors. Okay, so you starting to look, and do you have conversations with them individually or as a senior class and say, hey, what legacy do you want to leave, and what are they saying?
We at the beginning of the season for sure, we meet with all the girls individually, and the seniors are always special to us, and we give them opportunities every chance we get. When we're done talking, typically we'll ask them, you guys have anything to say, and so they're always, a special group, and this is a special group of seniors too. Legacy is tough. It's tough for a high school kid to really think about legacy. I think it's tough sometimes for adults to think about legacy. But I think they all know just how lucky they are to be in the situation we're in, and just how cool it is to get to go out every night and compete with their friends. That's what we talk about before every game. We say, listen, you don't get many opportunities to do this. Let's go out and have a lot of fun tonight. That's usually the last words we say before we go on the court is let's get after it and have some fun tonight.
3/4 of the way through your season. If you're looking back, and if this Coach Irons is talking to preseason Coach Irons, is there anything you're communicating to him and letting him know what to be aware of?
Man, that's a really good question.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
That's why you get the big bucks. Yeah, I can't say specifically. I think we've done a good job all the way through. I mean, we've gotten in the weight room a little bit more than we have this year in the past. And I'm hoping that, as we get into the postseason, I'm hoping some of the teams maybe that haven't done that. Yeah. Hopefully that'll be a little bit of an advantage for us. We've been lucky enough. Coach Rock is always welcoming out there in the weight room. And Coach Foster is very often making up weight, make things for us and get our lifts in and stuff. So I guess that's what I might say is maybe just make sure you get in the weight room, make sure that when you get to the tournament, you guys are at your best.
What has surprised you this year from your team of the growth that you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the girls just always kind of roll with it. We've had to make some changes here and there, and they're like, all right, let's do it. We're going to put this person into this spot. All right, let's go. They've always been good, and it doesn't surprise me, but I just love how close they are. We just came from a team dinner tonight, and of course, like I said, we had the sisters, and it was Heidi Bartels, and she has an older sister, Gretchen, who's a senior. Yeah. And they put like one little candle and a cupcake, and then they all start singing to her afterwards and stuff. So we had like a team serenade of her. So it doesn't surprise me, but it's a lot of fun to see just how much they enjoy being with each other on and off the floor, really.
Other than that, what's one thing you really enjoy about this group?
I think it is kind of the point, how much fun they do have playing this game. And it is tough as a coach sometimes, and I know probably drives some people in the stands crazy, that sometimes it almost looks like they're not taking it seriously enough. And that is hard at times. But I also believe I believe you don't really have fun because you're winning. I think if you have a team that is having fun, you're going to win games because they want to be together. They want to do what you're asking. And I think this group really likes to have fun. And when we're having fun playing volleyball, we're a really good team.
As many times as we've sat down and talked, whether it's remote, whether it's in person, I don't think I've ever asked you the question, what does it mean for you, TJ Irons, legacy of like no other, to wear the burgundy and gold and the SR on your chest?
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. The funny thing is I didn't grow up around here. I grew up over by Toledo, but I've been here so long now. And
a lifer,
and I've been involved in a lot of different sports. And I'm a third grade teacher, and I've just done a lot of things. So a lot of people I talk to they just think that I graduated from South Range. And I can tell you that, not to say that I don't love Springfield Blue Devils, by the way, is where I graduated from, not the Springfield Tigers. I love my alma mater, but I do feel like I might as well have graduated from South Range. I have lots of friends that I've met through teaching. I have a ton of friends that I've met through coaching. I have tons of friends that I've met through coaching their kids and getting to know the parents. So I love being a Raider. It's the best.
Maybe you can help me because I feel the same way. What is it about this place that's so inviting? It's like they just adopt you almost.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And I think I talked about it earlier. Part of it is that everybody here is a family, and everybody's family is involved somehow. They might be there for a Ruritan fish dinner. They may be there for a sporting event. They may be there for choir. They may be there for band. But everybody that's involved loves to wear that SR, and everybody loves to be wearing the burgundy and gold. So Can't put it on one thing, but I know that the teachers love to teach there. I know coaches love to coach there. I know kids love to go to school there. So it's a good place to be.
I love it. All right, last question for you. Off-kilter question. I give these to coaches all the time. I know you guys love this. We'll rerun this one because this is one of my favorites. You're on a desert island, okay, by yourself. You've got one album to listen to, one movie to watch, and one book to read. What are you choosing?
Ooh, okay. Album, it's probably Pearl Jam 10.
Okay.
That was the one when I was in high school, was my favorite. I listened to that all through college, so I'm a big Pearl Jam fan. The movie's tough. You know, when you're flipping through the TV and there's certain movies that you can't go past. So there's a couple. I would say probably either Shawshank Redemption,
wow,
or Braveheart. Like those are two that I've always, if I see them on TV, I can't go past.
Wow.
Them.
So you're not like a comedy genre guy?
I love them. I love those, but I think
you can't watch them over and over.
Yeah, over and over. I think there's a lot of other stuff you can get in those other movies. I mean, you can't beat a Chris Farley movie. You can't beat an Adam Sandler movie. Will Ferrell. I mean, they're all hilarious, and I do enjoy those movies for sure. But I think if I only had one, I'd get, and it's gotta be a little longer. Might as well make it longer,
That's
like
true.
Shawshank
That's
or something.
Not bad. What about
and
book?
The book. You know, most of the books that I read are about leadership, and then the ones that are on my desk right now are by John Wooden. So, I mean, there's so many that are titled by. I would just pick one of those, and I could probably read it over and over and get something different out of those every day. So that's something by John Wooden for sure.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Yeah, I think most of the time it's something, you know, I do what's right even when no one's looking. You know, we talk about that a lot at the elementary school too. That's big for me. And then I'm not right now. I can't.
No, that's okay.
For one.
I mean, I'm a huge quote guy. I love the leadership stuff. I think that's why we get along so well. The leadership stuff's huge, right? Especially as you get older, you got to kind of make up the wisdom that the talent goes away when the knees do. So TJ, good.
No, that's what I was going to say.
TJ Irons, ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the South Range volleyball team. We'll be back with some players right after this on your Sports Network.